I'm here in my kitchen with the ingredients to make apple cinnamon oatmeal. So I got the idea for this recipe from one of those healthy meals cookbooks or things that they give out at those little healthy living whatever, I don't know, functions. I don't know what to call it. So I always make oatmeal with thick rolled oats, and sometimes I'll add apples and sometimes cinnamon. But what this book suggested is, instead of just using water, so I know this says apple cider, but you know, for me, the apple juice and the apple cider, whatever that we get, looks exactly the same. So what it suggested was to use, instead of just water, you use some apple juice for the liquid instead of water. Of course, I mix mine because I don't just want to like a whole bunch of like apple juice in it. So I mix apple juice and water. So what I have is, you know, you can use apple cider. If you use apple juice, make sure it's like organic apple juice and not like super filtered, because you know you don't want it like a super sugary with a whole bunch of other stuff added into it. So I just wanted to give a close-up. I know it says it contains 100% juice, but I want you to show the ingredients that are in here. So the ingredients are Oregon grown and Washington grown apples. So that's the only thing that's in the apple juice or apple cider, okay? No extra sugar. I have one apple, which I'm going to like dice up and kind of like, you know, throw in as a little extra fruit. You can also add raisins, but all my girls don't like raisins. I have some extra thick rolled oats. I have this kind because I like how they cook up like really nice and slow. And just for like a little extra treat, I throw in like a teaspoon or so of vanilla extract. And right here in this bag is my ground cinnamon that I got from the both section. So let's get. Okay, so right now I'm pouring in the apple juice or apple cider. So I use it in equal parts. So if you're using 2 cups of water, use 2 cups of apple juice. So I put 3 cups of filtered water in here, and I just added 3 cups of organic apple juice. And then I'm just going to boil it, like maybe on like medium to medium high. And I'm going to add a few pats of butter to just kind of spice. You don't have to add butter, but I just kind of like it just to kind of spice it up a little bit to the mix while it's boiling. So I'm going to let that come to a boil, and then I'm going to add my rolled oats. So my water is kind of like, it's not like a super full boil, but you see the steam coming out. So this is a cup of extra thick rolled oats, and you kind of have to know like how much oats you should put to how much water. So I think I'm going to put like a couple of cups in here and kind of give that a stir. So I know you might be thinking like, oh, that's kind of watery, but these oats take about 15 minutes to cook. So, you know, I don't want like cornbread-ish like oats. I kind of want the oats to be a little creamy. So I'm just going to give this a stir. Get all that out of there. And now I'm going to turn my fire down to like a medium-low. So I didn't add any salt or any sugar because this is sweetened with fruit juice. You really don't need to add extra sugar in it. I mean, if you want to add like a dollop of raw honey or something like that, you can. But you really have to be careful that you don't over sugar this. So now in the meantime, I'm going to slice my my apple, and then we'll come back and finish this off. These apple slicers, ooh, are really great. An apple core slicers that get rid of the core in like 2 seconds. And you know, sometimes there's a little extra seed going on. And just cut this up. You can make them however big or small you want, you know, depending on your crowd. So I'm just kind of giving these a rough cut, or you can like chop them up to make them kind of like crumbly apple. That's my family in the background. doing what they do. Leave the skin on because the skin is good for you. So make sure you get organic apples. So, you know, you don't have to worry about pesticides. So, there we go. Okay, so this has been cooking for about 10 minutes. And as you can see, a lot of the water has evaporated out of it, even though it's still juicy. So I'm going to let this cook down some more. So we're going to take our apples, because I don't want the apples to be too crunchy, but I still want them to have a little bit of a crunch to it with some softness. So I'm just going to put the apples in here. And this was one whole apple that I put in here. And I'm going to stir this up. And then I'm going to let it cook for about another maybe 10 minutes or so. And then we'll see how much of the liquid has evaporated. Okay, so this has been another 10 minutes or so has passed. And as you see, the apple juice and the water have evaporated more, and the apples still have a little bite to them, but are more tender. So I'm going to turn the fire totally off, and I'm going to remove this from the heat. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut up a few, not cut up, but I have a little bit of butter here, and this is where I add, you know, you can add extra butter, or, you know, you can add a little fish oil, or, you know, what your spices and stuff like that. And I'm just going to reach past my hubby here, and I want to open this vanilla extract, but I'm not sure if I can. So now that that's off, here's my vanilla extract right here. And you can add as much or as little, you know, as you like, or, you know, a little almond extract. So I'm not going to do like quite a full tablespoon. Well, kind of like a third of a tablespoon. Add that, and here's my ground cinnamon that I got in the bulk section. And just going to kind of do that. Not too much. And we're going to give this a stir again. Now, like I said earlier, because this was sweetened with apple juice, you really don't need like any kind of sugar or any sweeteners in it. But like if you wanted to, like if you feel like you want a little extra sweetness before you serve it, you can put like drizzle honey on top of it, or you can drizzle some pure maple syrup on it, you know, for just like an extra little kick. So this off the heat and off the fire, so it's still a little bit, has a little bit of liquid. I want to let the liquid evaporate more. Of course, if you like your oatmeal a little bit creamy, I'm going to let this congeal, and so I'm going to let it sit and kind of cool for about 10 minutes or so, and then we're going to serve this up. So here's the finished oatmeal with the apples in there, and the cinnamon and the butter. And if you really just want to jazz it up a little extra, you know, put a few raisins you know, on top and give it a mix, and you are good to go.